The purpose of the advisory program here at Rectory is a second family. It is the complete wraparound care. Your child is known, cared for, and nurtured here. Your advisor and the advisory program, it's your go-to person. Your advisor is absolutely that touchstone person where you say, I need help and support, and you're trying really to have a very non-judgmental environment because it's not easy to ask for help. Advisory is intentionally built around certain topics. So our topics really are our social emotional arena where we discuss everything from the name game to stereotypes to microaggressions to self-care or anything that happens in the world. We have children from all over the world. So if something happens in China, if something happens in Korea, if something happens in Spain, Mexico, or the United States, we're on it. Because that topic will absolutely change so that our kids feel comfortable and safe, because scary things are happening in the world. You're not a good program unless you're paying attention to what's happening in the world or what your students require, what your students need. I would say one of the greatest and most beneficial implementations we have had is to our diversity, equity, and inclusion topics that we began just before COVID. With what was happening in the world, kids are paying attention to social media. They're listening to other sources of information, and we found it very beneficial that if we tackled those topics in that small group, it was a lot easier for students to ask questions. They get sometimes marred in thinking that diversity, equity, and inclusion is only about the differences. What you're really trying to do is talk about how we are all inclusive and how we really are more similar than we are different. I tell them all the time, you're all leaving with a backpack. Just make sure you've got the essentials in the backpack. Got to make sure you've got your coping skills. Got to make sure you've got your self-care. Got to make sure you've got your self-love. Yeah, you're going to have your knowledge. You're going to have what you're good at, but don't carry things that aren't yours. Don't carry on the negative chatter. We don't have room for that. So when they go, my gosh, I want them to skyrocket. I want them to have self-confidence, self-worth. If you fail, it doesn't matter. I'm going to try again. I'm going to do better. I want students to leave knowing they were cared for, and that's what makes an advisory program.